Saw you out there this weekend. Just some overall thoughts on the course, what it's like being on Maui and making your start here.
I mean, it's a great place to start, obviously, in Maui. It's my first time in Hawaii, and the course looks in great shape. You know, you got amazing sights here, so to be in a field where not many people can get in, you know, it's awesome to be here, and I can't wait to have this week started.
Awesome. And with that, you, in addition to your 2 wins, you had a 3rd place finish at Genesis Scottish Open, 7 top 25s, just a really great season in general. Just mind recapping that for us before we open it up to questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy 2022, and you know, things happen so fast where I think this past off season I was able to kind of reflect on what it was like, and it's amazing. You know, I've had 2 wins, and it's really it got me to feel a little bit more. I got to work harder, and hopefully 2023 is going to be a better year than 2022.
Awesome. With that, we'll open it up to questions. Dan with Barstool Sports.
How have you readjusted your expectations or your goals after last year?
I think I feel a little bit more comfortable than I did before on the PGA Tour. So I think, yes, obviously winning big events is great, but like I just got to keep. I think I felt like we've had this talk with the whole team, but like it's just of keeping that same mindset as I've had my whole life, and just kind of keep getting better every day. And all those big events you win, it's just kind of ticking off the boxes. But the biggest thing for me is just to be mentally be better and be physically stronger, and just get better at every aspect of the game every day. And I feel like the goals just kind of happen.
With your success, I'm sure the last couple months have been a whirlwind as far as you got a new sponsor, clothing sponsor, and you know your appeal in multiple countries. Has it been a crazy last couple months? Now that there was a pause in the golf, and you have to sort of address because you are running a business.
No, it's not that bad. I'm not that big of a star yet, so it hasn't been that crazy. But I spent time back home a little bit. You know, I've definitely had a few more people recognize me on the streets, and which is, I think it's great. You know, I don't get to be back home as much, so whenever I go back home and see that, it feels great. It kind of motivates me to kind of come back to the U.S. and play better, and it's been pretty fun for me.
Jeff? You're thinking. Okay.
I think you've been alive. Tiger's won the Masters 5 times. I think you've been alive for 2 of them. When you guys got together in the Bahamas, when you see him, does he look old or do you feel young?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about that, but like what I did feel was like, man, Tiger's. Man, like he's pretty cool. Like it was just I've seen him a few times, but to be able to kind of just have a conversation with him was pretty amazing. And you look at him and just the amount of things he has accomplished in his career was really cool to see. And but yeah, I haven't thought about that yet.
A couple other things along those lines, though. Other people that you would have looked up to as a kid. Do you remember the first time you actually came face to face with them, and was that weird?
Can you say that again?
Other players that you might have looked up to, given your age. Do you remember the first time you actually came face to face with them? I know, on the range and dining or whatever. And was that weird to you?
Yeah. So I met Tiger for the first time. Well, I mean, I seen him in person. I think I was like 5 or 6. It was in Australia. He came for the Australian, one of the tournaments, and he was walking to the bathroom, and I was like, I had my TW cap on, and it was so big because I had a small head at that time, it didn't fit, but he was walking literally 3 feet in front of me, and I shouted, "Go Tiger," and I tipped the cap and went in the bathroom, and literally thousands of people start running to the bathroom, waiting for him to come out. But that was my first interaction with
You wanted
with him?
You waited for him to come out too?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I wanted to give him a surprise to see, but I think the first time I got to see all these players properly was at the PGA Championship in 2020 at Harding Park. That was my first official PGA Tour / Major Championship. So I think that, like, the time then and now is a little different. I feel a lot more comfortable around these guys. Obviously played with a lot more of them, so it's kind of cool for me to be able to do that.
Then one last one for me, Tom. When you go back to last year, your first one was the Singapore International or Open?
Yes.
International.
Yeah.
I always remember you being at the table at the Saudi International when they were announcing the infusion into the Asian Tour, and Greg was there, and Liv was coming, and you're right there in the middle of it, being touted as another example of a great young player coming through, etc. Did you ever get approached by Liv? Was that ever a temptation for you?
I mean, I think I was there because I just won the Order of Merit on the Asian Tour, and you know, but my goal has always been to play on the PGA Tour. My goal has never been phased, and I have never thought about anything else. And it's, you know, it's still going to be that way because I played golf because I wanted to play on the PGA Tour and nowhere else. So, you know, the whole team has talked about it, but like we're just going to stay where we are, and you know, I want to play against where all the best players want to be, and I feel like a lot of, well, I mean, if you see Tiger's career, Jack Nicklaus's career, all these guys, they've come from the PGA Tour and it has a legacy. So hopefully I can do the same and kind of stay here for as long as I can.
We'll go to Adam Schuback with Golf Week next.
How long were you home for, and what was the wildest reaction that someone had to seeing you?
Sorry, the eyes, I couldn't hear you.
How long were you home for, and what was the most wild reaction that you had to somebody seeing you?
I was home for maybe around 4 weeks. It wasn't long, but I haven't had any crazy reactions, but I did have, and I was out with my friends, and before, if I would go to a golf course and wear my golf clothes, people would recognize me, but if I would be just in average, just normal attire, not a lot of people would recognize me. But I felt like every night I went out, I at least had a few people kind of come up to me and ask for a picture. So just things like that when I'm with my friends, and you know, when we're having a chat, and you know, someone comes up to me, you know, they're like, well, okay, like, I guess you've changed, Tom. But I tell them, you know, nothing has changed in my life really, but nothing crazy.
Have you had a chance to play Augusta National yet?
I have not. I'm excited for that one.
What's your plans in the lead up? When do you think you'll go
hopefully I'll be able to go there before the Masters. I'm trying to fit in some times, but I feel like I need to go there and let it out of my system before I go to the tournament. So,
what's the first Masters you remember watching?
It was one in the 2000s that Tiger won. I remember he won 2 of them before 05. Was it 02? It was 02. I think I had the DVD set of 05, 2008 US Open. I think it was the 2002 Masters, and then it was one more. I think it was the 2000 or the 2001. One was it? So I think that was the first time I ever saw. I think that's how I know a lot of the holes, because of watching those. So yeah, that's how it kind of happened.
What PGA Tour event that you haven't played are you most looking forward to?
Waste Management this year is going to be. I think it's going to be cool because I heard the Super Bowl is in town that week, so I think that's going to be pretty cool to experience. LA, I think, is going to be a cool one to, you know, if I can go and play, because I was there right before COVID hit. I was outside the ropes and watching, you know, all these guys play, and LA's. I feel like the crowd's going to be pretty fun, and I like it when there's a lot of people and when the crowd gets loud. So I enjoy that atmosphere. So kind of looking forward to those ones come forward.
Was that in 20, Tom?
I was in 20, correct.
Adam, you got one on your book? What are you doing there?
I was doing a winter camp in San Diego, and I came down to LA to watch some golf and just meet some people. So. I did not. Luckily, yeah. Someone had tickets for me.
We'll go to Will DiLorenzo with PGA Tour next.
Tom, can you talk a little bit about your excitement about just being here on Maui and your experience since you landed? Is there anything that you're looking forward to see outside of the golf course?
so I don't have my parents with me this way. I don't have much family, so I kind of feel bad that I'm kind of seeing this alone. So I'm gonna wait until my next trip and I can bring some family and friends. So I told myself my first trip I want to kind of focus on my golf, and maybe next time kind of enjoy a little bit more with family and friends. But I've been going out and having some great food, and like I still like the sunsets and the sunrise are just it's great. It's beautiful. So I've just been enjoying that, but just been trying to stay focused on my golf.
Anything else for Tom? Doug? Thanks, Doug.
How did you wind up? How did you choose Dallas, and how did you hook up with Cam?
I've had a few friends recommend me to Dallas because it's central. There's a lot of good golf courses, and I remember it was at the CJ Cup. I was playing with Scotty the last round. I think we were a twosome in the back nine because Harris English withdrew. And he was just telling me about how amazing the golf courses were, and he particularly said one golf course that he practices at, and I was like, and I thought it was cool, and I had it in my head, and I asked a few people, and they were all like, yeah, this is amazing, you should try to come over here. And I went to Dallas for the first time for the Byron Nelson, and I absolutely enjoyed my week there, and I kind of thought, man, this could be a good place to kind of practice and kind of live. And obviously there's a big Asian community there as well, so which is kind of nice. I don't feel so far away from home. And Cam, I just kind of where I practice, that's where he teaches, and I just needed some checkups, and I went to him, and I thought it was a good matchup for me, and he's definitely helped me a lot of just preparing my game and stuff. So it just kind of happened naturally, and it's just kind of it's where I live, so it's easy for me to go and see him. Pardon?
Does Jordan still like you?
Does Jordan still like me? I hope so. I think we're playing together on Thursday, so hopefully he talks to me when we're playing.
Anything else for Tom? Tom, thanks for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.